God gave each and every one of us talents and gifts. It is left for us to tap into that potential. But most of us are not even looking at that potential. We are just looking at to what everyone else is doing, how beautiful their lives are. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite dimmailoka. For those of you that are seeing me for the first time, I am a content creator that makes videos talking all about God, finance, self-development, and sharing my unique journey with all of you. All this to make you and I better people. So if this is something that you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and join the family. We are so happy to have you around. So guys, how are you doing? It's been a while I filmed a video like this, and doing this now, it feels so surreal to me. The past few months has been a roller coaster ride, guys. I've been away from home for such a while and it feels good to be back. So everyone, how are you doing? I hope that you are having a good time. Today's topic means a lot to me. Like, it seems as if it is a long awaited topic because the last few months have just been it for me, guys. And having the luxury of having to listen to God right now, although I'm the one speaking, but guys, I'm just around the corner listening to be honest, guys, because this is led by the Holy Spirit. This past few months I've just been thinking, reflecting on my journey so far, and I've been having some doubts, questioning the authenticity of my purpose, of my dreams, of all that I've been believing all along. I've been questioning all of them, to be honest. And by the grace of God, we are going to explore as much as we can God's promises for humble beginnings. And guys, I can't wait to be transformed by the message we all are going to receive right now. When you are coming from such a humble place, you have a lot of limits, and sometimes you're going to question yourself or even God, asking Him, why can't I just have these things other people are effortlessly having? Why can't I just attain this certain level of success? Why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? Because I struggle with virtually everything. Be in a place where you have to ask God all these questions, and sometimes even questioning His presence in your life. I've got this experience firsthand because I wasn't born with a silver spoon, and also I'm grateful for things I have because most people don't have this family validation, to be honest with you. For example, for me to make this video now, everyone has to leave the sitting room for me, or even if you are going to be around, you are going to be calm so that the noise doesn't interfere with what I'm doing right now. And whatever that is going to go on in our house right now, it has to be calm. If it is something that you can't do calmly, then you have to wait till I'm done. And that is something I value so much, and that is something that I respect so much. I have the luxury of having people who allow you to pursue your dreams and also lend a helping hand as much as they can. I have this and I'm so grateful for it. A lot of people, even people from this prestigious family, most of them don't get this kind of support from their family because maybe they chose to do something different from what their parents want for them, and most of them lack this family support. Some of them might not even have this family validation, have their family believe in them and in their dreams, right? This is a huge thing for me, and I don't take it for granted. Like, God knows I don't take this for granted. But what I'm trying to say is that when you are coming from a humble place, the limits seem to be much because you have to struggle for virtually everything. For food, for shelter, for your dreams to come true and things like that. And also, when you look at people, your age mates, achieving reaching and attaining greater heights, you have to question yourself and you're like, are you sure there's something that these people are not telling me? Why I'm taking my time to talk about this is for us to know that I too have those moments. And if you encounter doubts in your journey, just know that you're not the only one. Life is difficult, life is tough, right? You're not the only one. So don't curse yourself out or don't feel like you are the worst person in the world. Sometimes I do feel like that, like in the past. Sometimes I feel like I'm the lowest. Everyone is gifted, everyone has this, everyone has that. But I just want you to know that you are not the worst person on earth, and God makes no junk. God created each and every one of us for a purpose. We all are gifted in so many ways. Most times we have to explore a lot of things for us to discover our purpose. And some of us are lucky. Their earliest passion or ambition or desire or career path they want, they actually pursued it and it was their purpose. In this video, we are going to explore some of God's promises for humble beginnings and see how we can get encouraged in our own journey. Okay, so with that being said, let's get right into this video. Our first step is, do not despise these small beginnings. So let's read Zechariah 4 verse 10, and we are going to read this from the NLT version because their wordings convey this message in such a brilliant and easy to understand way. So let's read. I don't have that Bible version, so I just wrote it out in a book. So let's just read this out. So it says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand. God is saying here, do not despise your small beginnings. Most times it is through these humble beginnings that we learn the most. God is trying to tell us here that we should not despise our small beginnings because He's happy that we are doing something. You all know that I'm a very visual person. So when I encounter this Bible verse, I try to imagine God's facial expression, how His heart leaps with joy whenever He sees us trying to do something from the little we have. He knows that we have limits. He knows that we have struggles, but He's happy that the one that He gave to us, we are trying to do something from it. God has a thing with people with humble beginnings. Let's look at Christ's disciples. Peter was a fisherman, just an ordinary man, right? Matthew was a tax collector. So when you look at these people, you can see that they don't have such a glamorous beginning, but their future was bright. And that did not hinder God from meeting them. That did not hinder Christ from picking them as His disciples. Look at Moses, Joseph, Gideon. Who am I going to mention and leave the others out? Most of these people has humble beginnings, but that did not get in the way of their greatness. That did not determine what they can do. Let me tell you, the only limit we have is the limits we place on ourselves. God gave each and every one of us talents and gifts. It is left for us to tap into that potential. But most of us are not even looking at that potential. We are just looking at to what everyone else is doing, how beautiful their lives are. We waste our days overthinking, wasting away, crying, just bitter because we think that we are the worst people on earth. We think that our circumstances determine what we can be. Of course not. God did not create any one of us to be better than the other. It is actually left for us to dream big. I came across a clip from an interview or a podcast, I don't know which one, from Barack Obama. So he was saying something that when we look at people with big titles, having a great job, people who are at the top, we think that they are special, that they are so talented and brilliant and better than every one of us. But when you get to mix with these people, you will realize that they are not all that. There are the smart people there, the brilliant ones, of course, but there are people who are not as brilliant or as smart as we think. But they are there. That doesn't make them any better. Anyone can be there. I'm reading a book recently, like I'm still reading it, a book from Napoleon Hill, The Laws of Success. So he said something that really stuck with me. He said that we should dream big, that it is our duty, we owe it to our family, our community to dream big. Like when he said that word that we owe, so we can see that it is a necessity for us to aim higher, to aspire, to think more than our environment. So do not think that with these small beginnings, you are left out, you can't amount to anything. No, start with the little you have. I've used my story as an example here countless of times. Even one of my previous videos, when I got my first tripod, I showed what I was using before to film these videos, but you won't know. I constructed it by myself. I just looked at, okay, I want to create content, right? What do I have at hand? How can I make this dream of being a content creator a reality? That is how you think when you don't despise your small beginnings. But most of us don't value it. We are just waiting for the time we are going to have that big break. That big break will come, of course, but actually, what are you doing with the ones you have at the moment? We look at our role models, our celebrities, and we compare their life with our life. But can we actually scroll down and go back to where they started, how they started, what they started with? You will realize that a lot of these people are coming from a humble place. Some of them are coming from an average home just like you. Some of them have been homeless, gone days without food. Like when you listen to their stories, you are really going to be inspired. You are going to be shocked that most times you are even better than them, that your families are even better than the kind of family they came from. But they were able to get to the next place because they do not despise their small beginnings. They looked at what they have at the moment and they were like, okay, I want to be an actress, I want to be a singer, I want to be an artist, I want to do this, I want to do that. How can I? When you shift your mindset from waiting for the time you are going to have everything you want, when you shift your mindset from waiting till you have everything in place to, okay, what can I do with the one I have? You are going to be more creative than you can ever be. So use this time of your small beginnings to learn, reset, refocus. Use this time to build yourself. There's a reason why you have to undergo this process. A few days ago, I've been reflecting on my journey, to be honest, and I've read a couple of books like so fast. I just finished Ben Carson's Think Big a few days ago, and I'm even planning on making a book review. Okay, so keep an eye for it. Yes, because that book is so inspirational, and I'm also reading a new book right now, and like I've been doing a whole bunch of things, and I've just been reflecting on my journey, and it occurred to me how much my struggles contributed to my purpose. So I was just reflecting, what if I didn't have to go through all these hurdles? This YouTube channel thing might not be possible. Because what am I going to share here? The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because of my own struggles. And I want to help girls who are encountering the same challenges. Get them out of the rut. Change their mindsets. Make them to realize their potential. See themselves as people who possess so much strength and light that they can actually do whatever they want to do. They can actually achieve their dream life. They can work and stop this dependency syndrome. If I did not have to go through all these struggles, if I did not have moments of overthinking, I'm scared, I don't even have confidence in my abilities, having to start from such a humble place, because this channel started with just my mobile phone with a microphone that was actually a gift. That was how it all started. It didn't start with everything in place, with fancy cameras, exotic backgrounds, tripods, this, that. I did not have all these things, but I was able to start. So because I was able to start from such a small place, I'm able to be at a place to tell people that you can. And let me tell you one thing, you can. Once you shift your mindset from waiting till everything is all rosy, so that you can start. Once you shift your mindset, I've said this before, you will get more creative. Like, you'll be more creative than you can ever imagine. And you will realize that you can actually do anything. It's just for you to set your minds to it, right? You can do just anything with what you have. I know there are limits. I know I have a lot of things to create. Like, I have a book that I've written out content ideas I want to create, but I haven't even created 90% of it, to be honest, because of limits of equipment, money, this, that. But I'm actually creating a lot. The limits are there. But the fact is, can you start? Can you believe in God? Can you believe in the talents that He gave to you? Can you see yourself as a privileged person? Can you stop despising your humble beginnings? That is what God is asking you today. And God said that if we do not despise our humble beginnings, our future would be so great. Let's read Job 8 verse 7. It says, "And though your beginning was small, your future would be great." Though your beginning was small, your future would be great. Can someone say in Christ's name, amen? This is a confirmation that our humble beginnings can't get in the way of our greatness. Some time ago, one of my lecturers said something, and I think I've shared this here. He said that the problem with our generation is that we don't want to go through the process. We don't want to go through this pruning stage. We don't want all of that. We don't want the stress, the suspense that is associated with life. Like, we don't want to go through all these hurdles. We just want everything to happen so quick, so fast, so soon. We just want everything to just happen the way we want, the way we imagined, and that is our problem. Let's look at the story of Joseph. Y'all know I use Joseph a lot because I'm so much inspired by his story. His story is so relatable. Joseph and Paul, I don't joke with these individuals. So let's look at Joseph's story and see the process he had to go through to achieve his dream life. First of all, he was born into a rich family. He was his father's favorite son. He brought bad reports against his brothers, and this made them to hate him. He had these bizarre dreams that his brothers, his elder ones, would bow down before him. That even made them to hate him more. And at a time, he even had a dream that his father too would bow down before him. You know who Jacob is? You know how high Jacob is? How high God regards him? Jacob was like, even I too would bow down before you. Is this a joke? His brothers sold him to the Ishmaelites. They initially wanted to kill him, but they were like, oh, he's our blood, okay? Let's not kill him. From the Ishmaelites, he got to Potiphar's house. He did well there. He was promoted in Potiphar's house. Potiphar's wife framed him, and he went to prison. From prison, he was made the prime minister, the second in command of the whole of Egypt. So look at the process Joseph has to undergo in order for him to live his dream life. Remember, he had the blueprint of what his future would look like, of what his greatness would look like. His family would bow down before him. He had the blueprint, but was that a smooth journey? Of course not. There was a process to it. From being hated by his siblings, sold to the Ishmaelites, went to Potiphar's house, did well there, he was promoted, he went to prison. Like, all those things were the process Joseph has to undergo in order for him to live his dream life. We can't run away from the process, no matter how hard we try. The more we try to run away from it, the more far our dreams are. I just want us to move with the conviction that our future would be great. God did not create us to live a mediocre life. Like, I used to say this a lot, and I believe 100% in this. Our future is bright. Just like I said before, it is left for us to look within ourselves and tap into the potentials, tap into the greatness that is instilled in all of us. God creates no junk. Okay? I love how Psalm 78 verses 70 and 71 puts this. Guys, let's read together. It says, He chose David his servant and took him from the sheep pens. He chose David. So God basically chose David his servant and took him from the sheep pens. You know that David was his father's shepherd, right? So let's read further. From tending the nursing ewes, he made him the shepherd over Jacob his people and over Israel his inheritance. David was the shepherd of his father's sheep. So from being the shepherd of only his father's livestock, God elevated him and made him to be the shepherd of the whole of Israel. Such a small beginning, such a humble beginning. If this doesn't inspire us, guys, I don't know what else that will. Let's read Philippians 1 verse 6. It says, "For I am confident of this very thing, that the one who started a good work in you will bring it to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." Apostle Paul is saying here, "For I am confident of this thing." He is saying that he is sure of this one thing, that the one who started a good work in us will complete it. God won't leave us halfway. I want that to sink. I want this to register in our memory. God won't leave us halfway. Whatever he started in us, he will complete it. Let's take a look at Gideon. Gideon was scared. He never believed that he would be the one to liberate his nation. He was a valiant warrior, but he never knew. But when it was time for him to exhibit this greatness that God instilled in him, God used him. He was like, "I'm the lowest in my house. My tribe is the smallest. How can I?" But God was like, "You are the one that will do it, no one else." That is who you are. Who you are is not limited by the limits you have, by your circumstances or by your environment. No. God looks at every one of us through the lens of our greatness. He doesn't look at you at, "Oh, you failed at this. Oh, you are dumb." No, God doesn't see you that way. He sees you the way you are created to be. He sees you through the lens of your greatness. That is how God looks at us. That was how he looked at Gideon. Gideon was like, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm the smallest in my household. My tribe is the smallest." But God wasn't actually seeing Gideon that way. God was seeing a valiant warrior. That was what God was. And that is exactly the way God looks at every one of us. Why don't we look at ourselves that way? Why don't we hold on to our greatness and embrace it? Why are we out here limiting ourselves when we have the creator of the universe by our side? Sometimes I feel like we don't even understand, we can't even comprehend the magnitude of the kind of God we serve. We don't even understand who we have. He's the creator of the whole universe. Sometimes you hear people say they manifest with the universe. Whatever they say to the universe, the universe bring it back to them or give it to them, their dream life or whatever. But actually we have the one who created that universe by our side. Let us stop wasting our times limiting ourselves. Let us stop wasting our times thinking that, "Oh, when I get here, then I will do this. When I get here, then I'll start working on my dreams." Actually, that is wrong. You can start where you are with whatever you have. And you can still get there. You can still get there. I came across a video on social media. The woman said this, she's a pastor, but guys, I suck at remembering the names of these people, especially when I consume content online and I want to quote someone. I'm the type of person that loves giving credit to people. Whoever I'm going to cite their work, I love to give credit to them, but I suck at remembering their names, especially when it is coming from social media. But whenever I read books, I do remember the names of people, but once it's social media, I suck at it, and God help me to remember. So this woman was saying something that really made a lot of sense to me. She says that we always think that we can only do big things when we are at big places. But actually, big things are not tied to big places. you can do big things wherever you are. And that really spoke so much to me. Like, that meant a lot to me. And that is an eye opener for me. Big things aren't tied to big places, right? You know that social media, the society sets standards and expectations for us. And that word, aesthetically pleasing, artistically satisfying, and the likes of it, tends to limit us. For example, you want to be a content creator. You have the dreams of being an influencer. Why don't you take up your camera, hit the record button? But you can't, because you want your background to be aesthetically satisfying, right? But that is limiting you. That is making you not to tap into your potential. For how long are you going to wait? Ecclesiastes makes us to know that there is no perfect time for anything. Do things while you can. What are you waiting for? Like, what are you waiting for? So let's stop limiting ourselves and let's start tapping into our potentials, because God is with us. And He will complete whatever He started with us. Like, He's going to bring it to completion, okay? So take up that opportunity. Chase your dreams. And know that God won't leave you halfway. Like, He won't leave you halfway. Guys, there's this experience that I encountered firsthand. And this happened to a very close friend of mine. I watched him grow from strength to strength. There was a time a door was about to be closed in his life. Like, this door was absolutely closed. And it seems as if there is no way out. How can he maneuver? How can he get through? And I watched God open another door for him. When he's trying to acclimatize himself with this new door, it seems as if God closed it. Like, it was such a tough time for him, but I think God was actually trying to teach him, or even me, something. And now, all of us, God is trying to teach us something, right? And then another door opened. And that really speaks so much to me, because I remember when a door closed in my life. I don't want to talk about this because I've spoken about this a lot of times in my previous videos, and I don't want to kind of keep talking about it because I think that phase has long gone and the lessons have been learned, right? Instead of holding on to something that happened to me about 2 years now, let me just look at the future and embrace the new things, new opportunities that are coming by. So when that happened to me, God closed a door and I was frustrated, I was depressed. It felt like, oh God, why do you have to do this? Like, I can't see no way out. And later, God opened a door for me. And this really speaks volume to me, because most times we keep on holding on. Most times we can't see ourselves getting better. Most times when a door closes, we are like, oh, that's the end. But that is not the end. God is the writer of our story. God is aware. He knows that we are having financial struggles, health issues, emotional stress, whatever it is. God knows we are going through all that. Okay, so instead of holding on to these things, why don't we hold on to God? The reason that we are mostly entangled in sin, especially when we start getting more money, that's why you hear people say that a lot of money is evil. A lot of money is not evil, right? Our forefathers, most of them are rich. Abraham, Jacob, Solomon, they had a lot, But why is it like in this generation, sometimes people see a lot of money as if it is evil? It's because of our mindset. When we start having it, we cling to it. We hold on so much to it that we don't want to lose it. That is why most of us are deceived into sin, because we are so entangled. We are so obsessed with it. We hold on so much to it rather than holding on to God who gave it to us. We rather go on and hold on to these material things. And that's why we Christians, we get easily swayed by simple things that shouldn't sway us. But it is because we keep on holding on to these things. But in reality, we should hold on to God. That way, we can become better and more capable individuals. So know that God won't leave you halfway. Trust in Him, like rely on Him. Give it all unto Him, okay? He won't leave you halfway. So take on that new opportunity. Pursue your passion. Just live with this certainty that God is with you and He won't leave you halfway. Even if that door closes, God will open another one. Like, God has the best plan and best intentions for me. And also, I want to add something to this. There is an analogy in Matthew 13 verse 31 to 32. This analogy is about a mustard seed. We all know that the mustard seed is very, very small. Like, it is the smallest of seeds. But when it grows into a very large tree. And to me, this speaks so much about us that comes from a humble beginning. We are coming from such a small place, a place that seems insignificant. But we can grow into a tree that won't go unnoticeable. That is the power of utilizing this time we have, seeing what we can do with our small beginnings. Finally, let's see Proverbs 16 verses 3. It says, "Commit to Jehovah whatever you do, and your plans will succeed." Commit to God whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. Almost every day that I pray, there is something that I always tell God. God, please direct and guide me. I can't do a single thing on my own. I say this with all humility and all sincerity. Go to God, okay? Commit your plans to Him, like whatever you do. And this Bible passage is saying that whatever we lay our hands on, we will succeed. God has our best interests. His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Like, He sees the bigger picture. He sees the future. He knew what He instilled in all of us. Why don't you go to the bigger person? Why don't you stop trying to be in control of everything? You want to know what's going to happen next. Why don't you just let go of all these things and just commit to God? We overburden ourselves with things we are not meant to carry. We overthink. We burden ourselves. It is not in our position to know what's going to happen next. What is left for us to do is to go to God for everything, like lay everything at His feet. Do our best and let God do the rest. From Ben Cassie's book that I read just recently, I learned something from him. In this book, Ben Cassie talked about something that he learned from an experience, to go to God more frequently. And that word stuck with me. Go to God more frequently. And I think that is the key. Like, that is the summary of everything. Go to God more frequently. Go and tell God about everything, anything. What is it that you want to undertake? Your passion, your dreams, your career, your job, your family, your health, your financial life, like whatever it is, go to God. Commit to Him. Speak to Him about it. He is going to be there for you. Go to God for every little thing. Whatever you are struggling with. Recently, I was struggling with fantasizing over my Egypt, to be honest. Guys, I know that I made a video here and talked a great deal about it, but I'm human and I do have struggles. Imagining life with people that I've let go for such a long time, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? Even when I let these people go, I don't even dream of having something to do with them again. But like recently, I've been fantasizing over them, wanting life with them again. It was so crazy, and this really distracted me from my life and my relationship. Like, it's really distracted me, and thank God He got me out of it. And right now I'm more sound and more organized and more focused, because guys, that really distracted me. And I went to God, I told God about it. I'm like, God, look at this, I'm struggling with this. Like, I don't even know when I started doing this, because this is not me. And God helped me out of it, and I'm so grateful for it. So go to Him for anything. You can talk to God, commit your plans to Him, okay? And you will succeed. It is as simple as this. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I hope that you learned something from this video, and I hope you had a good time with me here. This is one of the videos I enjoyed making, because I'm making this video and I'm just sitting by the side listening and learning. I really need to hear this message. Like, if there's one person that needs this message, I think I'm that person, to be honest. And I hope that this can encourage you and enlighten you and inspire you and strengthen you in your journey. Guys, it's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy, and I'm not going to come up here and act as if it is easy. It is not. But we just have to keep moving, right? Just do what you can with the little you have. God is watching, and He's not going to leave you halfway. And your circumstance, your humble beginnings cannot determine what your future would look like. You are the one. You hold the power, you hold the potential. So it's just about you. So let the light in you out. Let it shine. Okay? The world is waiting to feel your impact. Do not let this talent, do not let this gift waste away. Okay? Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel and it helps me as well. It's your favorite dimmailoka, and it's been great with you guys. Until next time, don't forget to stay positive and stay cheeky. Bye.